Welcome to Duck Season Somewhere podcast. This episode is brought to you by the following sponsors. GetDucks.com, your proven source for the very best waterfowl hunting adventures. Argentina, Mexico, 6 whole continents worth. For 2 decades, we've delivered real duck hunts for real duck hunters. And USHuntlist.com, because the next great hunt is closer than you think. Search our database of proven U.S. and Canadian outfits. Contact them directly with confidence. Trust is earned. By the numbers, 121 waterfowl subspecies bagged on 6 continents, 20 countries, 36 U.S. states, and growing. I spend upwards of 225 days per year chasing ducks, geese, and swans worldwide. And I don't choose shotguns for their brand name or the cool factor. Y'all know me way better than that. I've shot Benelli for over 2 decades. I continue shooting Benelli shotguns for their simplicity, utter reliability, and superior performance. Whether hunting near home or halfway across the world, that is the stuff that matters. Sit means sit and stay until it doesn't. No matter how well or how often trained, retrievers want those ducks as badly as we do, maybe even more. Chardog might be titled, but she's still just a dog. I'm over 50 years old and I still do dumb stuff, trust me. Retrievers are family. I wouldn't endanger my children near heavy traffic, and I'm not going to risk my dog jumping in front of blazing guns either. Gundog Outdoors' patented quick-release safety system is fully adjustable, tethers to any blind or stand, has titanium stakes for frozen ground, and a quick-release marine-grade shackle to quickly release Fido when the smoke clears. Visit gundogoutdoors.com. Connect with them on Instagram at Gundog Outdoors to see their growing line of Gundog safety and performance products. Enter hashtag GetDucks to receive 15% discount off of your first order. Boss Shot Shell's copper-plated bismuth tin alloy is the good old days again. Steel shots come a long way in the past 30 years, but will never, ever perform like good old-fashioned lead. Say goodbye to all that gimmicky, high recoil, compensation, science, hype, and hello to superior performance. Know your pattern, take ethical shots, make clean kills. That is the boss way. The good old days are now. It really is duck season somewhere for 365 days per year. Duck Season Somewhere takes me year-round to worldwide destinations where I visit with the most interesting people. I'm your host, Ramsey Russell. Join me here to listen to those conversations. Welcome back to Duck Season Somewhere, and I am just about to wrap up the North American tour before Christmas. I know y'all ain't listening to this later, but it's getting close to Christmas. I'm getting close to being home. Been on the road a while, and I am in Georgia. I'm closer to Alabama right now than Atlanta, but I'm in Georgia. And came over here and scratched it off my list and got to duck hunt, got to shoot. And one of my buddies asked me, what the heck you going to Georgia for? All them Georgia boys come to Mississippi to hunt duck. I said, well, I ain't never killed a duck in Georgia. And duck season somewhere means everywhere. So I came to Georgia. I've got with me today Chase Gibson and Caleb Jackson, a couple of local duck slayers, and mostly deer hunters, I think. But how you boys doing today?
Man, we're doing good.
Good, Ramsey, good.
Good. Thank y'all for y'all's hospitality, and we're over here also with Shaun and Amy Harris, and they're listening real close by. But Amy actually set this thing up. I met her at SEI. She knew y'all knew me, and somewhere when she became aware of this little whirlwind tour I'm doing, she said, well, if you're passing through Georgia and want to come duck hunting, come do it. And I said, well, I think I will. But introduce yourself, Chase. Introduce yourself, who you are and where you're from and what you do.
Chase Gibson, and I'm originally from the coast of Mississippi, down in Biloxi down there. And I went to Mississippi State, and I met Heather, who is now my wife and Shaun and Amy's daughter. So we got married, and we live in Starkville. I'm a civil engineer by trade over there, so we live and work over there. And Heather works for old Clark Beverage doing a distributor, so we like it up there in North Mississippi, and we're down this way a good bit, hunting and hanging out in Georgia. So,
did you duck hunt growing up?
Yeah, we did. We we hunted down in Delacroix, Louisiana, down that way, down south of Chalmette and south of Slidell down there, and we did a bunch of that. And I mean, you've been talking about it's crazy how it's that marsh has been eroding, and that's just not as good as it used to be.
Times have changed.
Yeah.
That's correct. The times have definitely changed. What about you, Caleb? What's your story?
Oh, Ramsey, I live right around here locally, Webster County, Georgia. We farm here.
Where do you farm?
Peanuts and cotton.
Georgia peanut farmer.
Mm-hmm. Row crop farm.
Did you grow up duck hunting? I mean, I know you duck hunt now, some kind of seriously, but
yeah, we shooting wood ducks and beaver ponds. I mean, that's what we do here.
I mean, Georgia's not right in the middle of a flyway.
No,
it's kind of in between the Atlantic flyway and the Mississippi flyway. And to give y'all some background, I'm driving in yesterday, and I mean, we're talking longleaf pines, cotton fields, peanuts, pecans, not swamps, not delta. This is little small creeks and drainages along the way in here. This ain't a duck flyway here. But y'all did grow up duck hunters. There's ducks everywhere. We're talking about that this morning. Everywhere there's water like that, beaver pond is at least going to be some wood ducks. But what'd you mostly grow up hunting?
Small game start with,
really?
Like everybody does, squirrels, rabbits, and that kind of thing, and then bird hunting.
Yeah.
And the older I got my dogs and that kind of thing. So I, deer hunting and bird hunting.
Who got y'all both into hunting at all?
So my dad's sitting here, Keith Gibson. So I grew up, like I said, hunting down in South Louisiana, and that's just what we did, and that's how we grew up and hunting. And we used to, before we had a camp down there, we used to wake up and we would drive. He would put me in the back of the truck and make a little bed back there, and we would drive from Biloxi to the boat ramp, launch a boat, go duck hunt, drive back, do it the next day.
Yeah.
Just back to back to back. So that's what we grew up doing. So he was the one who got me into it.
Yeah. Drove up yesterday, and as I'm driving through getting here, I think to myself, there ain't no way this is like a duck camp. This got to be like a deer camp or something like that. And we pull up, we make introductions. I guess I got here about 3:30. And, the interesting thing about Georgia is you got a one-day duck hunting license, small game license. One day, $20. It's nothing. I think $5, $10 stamp. It's nothing. Just one day. Okay, that's great. And we get up, and Keith is getting suited up to go deer hunting. Y'all talking about deer. You want to shoot a deer? I'm like, yeah, I want to go shoot a deer. So I called my wife, so I texted her and said, hey, get me a big game lot. And that's where they kind of get you a little bit, but it ain't crazy. Mm-hmm. And boy, was that action yesterday. That was action-packed hunt.
That's right.
What was the name of that blind we went to?
Little Rascal.
Little Rascal, because it looks like a Little Rascal Playhouse.
Yep.
It's got an easy stairway, just a nice, slow stairway going up to it.
Mm-hmm.
We parked the truck in a slot, and we walked, 50 yards, went up the stairwell, got in the Little Rascal's camp house. And first thing I noticed, before I even looked out the window, the first thing I noticed was distances there. I mean, boy, there's somebody, the feeder's this far, and the left-hand side is this far, and the second ridge is that far. I mean, it was just all mapped out good. So then I started looking out to get my bearings, and all them food plots is full of deer.
Yeah. We get up there, and Ramsey looks at me and said, man, there's a bunch of deer in the field right now.
Already?
I said, yeah. He said, man, y'all got a lot of deer around here. I said, yeah, well, you were coming in, and we were talking yesterday before Ramsey got up here. He said, I don't know if Ramsey'd want a deer hunt. I said, I know he's killed deer. I said, he's a duck hunter, though, So he shows up, and we said, you want to go sit in the deer stand? He said, man, I'd love to go sit in the deer stand. He said, I've been killing ducks every day. So we went up there, and we had a good little hunt. I'll let you take some of the story here, but we had a good.
No, it was an exciting hunt, because your dad-in-law, Shaun, said, you can shoot does off your license, and I need to shoot some does, and we got some small management bucks. And if you don't mind doing that, I'm like, and the whole time he's talking, I'm just putting more bullets in my pocket going, I'm your huckleberry. I'm your guy. I don't care about no trophy deer, but I'm your guy. I'm thinking, man, it's going to be something else. And so I brought a whole bunch of bullets. Had to put my snuff can in another pocket so it didn't rattle too hard on them bullets walking in. And that was an exciting hunt. And we saw a bunch of does, a lot of spikes. And you told me you seen some little old 8 points, little management bucks come out. And sure enough, they came out. And you tell that part of it, because you're like, well, I don't know. You can shoot that deer if you want to. We can wait a little bit. And the whole time you're talking, I'm getting ready.
Yeah. So we're sitting there, and Ramsey said, man, I hope one of those 8 points comes out. And Shaun had seen them yesterday, 3 of them. I said, it'll come out between 5:30 and 5:45, I bet. So 5:33 or something. And Ramsey looks, and he looks at me and goes, there's a buck right there. And I sat back, I looked at him. I said, yeah, you can shoot him. And as I'm saying that, I said, well, you can wait if you want. Ramsey's ready to roll. He's going out the window.
I'm looking somewhere to prop my elbow up and kind of easing him out of the way. And
he's ready to roll.
Taking deep breaths. Well, yeah.
I said, man. He looks at me, goes, you ready? I said, I'm ready, brother. Boom, let him roll. So I was looking at him, and he runs off up in the woods up in there. And I said, Ramsey, you hit him good. He said, man, I thought he would have folded right there. I said, yeah, I think you hit him good, though. He tucked that tail, and he ran, and
well, you could hear the bullet here,
yeah.
and it wasn't a gut shot. You could tell it was in the right there where you want to get him, right there in the wheelhouse. And what I saw, because you always get a little kickback on that scope. But what I saw the deer buck throw his back feet up. Saw him tucked down as he was disappearing off the ridge. I noticed he wasn't like dragging a shoulder. So that looks like a pretty solid hit. But I'm used to really that's a 300 Magnum. I've been shooting longer than you are old.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you right now, I got that gun back in '89. It's Ma Bell, we call it. 'Cause back in the day of telephone company Ma Bell, you reach out and touch somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really used to when I touch that trigger off. I don't shoot it a bunch, a couple of trigger pulls a year, but I'm used to just seeing white belly staring back at me through the scope when it settles down, And he hopped over. He didn't go far. So then you said, well, I'm going to get Caleb and Waylon. I said, well, I met Caleb. Who's Waylon? Which one's Waylon? He goes, the middle-sized dog. I said, oh. So you show up with a boykin, and I ain't never seen a blood-trailing boykin. Not that we had a trail far. He didn't go with about 70, 80 yards. But, he run up in the woods and then come back out looking at you.
He'd found a deer.
He'd already found a deer.
He'd already found a deer.
Yeah. And then we were there's a drop of blood, and there's a drop of blood. It looked like a little piece of lung, and I said something to you. Were you looking for blood? No, I'm just following the dog. He knows where it is.
He knew where the deer was.
And we got there, and he was standing right on top of it. It was a perfect little management buck for here, wasn't it? Didn't have no brow tines. About a 3-year-old Shaun said, no brow tines. Little old scrub rack.
Perfect buck to kill around here.
Good.
And we got, we got a lot of deer walking around here like that need to get it. And Ramsey he was more than happy to take one out. And it was a great hunt. Waylon did good. He came over there and he kind of quarters. Caleb can tell a little bit, but he kind of quarters like a bird dog looking for those deer.
Yeah.
He ran right up in there, and man, he was right on them.
Yep, that was a very exciting hunt, and I knew y'all had a lot of deer over here, but y'all got a lot of deer. I mean, just sitting around breakfast this morning, we heard about 2 or 3 deer getting whacked with a pickup truck. I think I'd have to put one of them big Texas bumpers on here or something, or drive a tank.
Yeah, we had a couple deer coming out this morning from the duck blind this morning. They were standing in the middle of the road, but this part of the country, there's just lots and lots of deer around here.
Well, it's perfect habitat. It's pine country, a lot of timber harvest, a lot of timber management, a lot of spraying, which is what Shaun does. It's a lot of good deer habitat, so they ought to be thriving here. But what about the ducks? It ain't just tons of duck habitat.
Well, we got a little place down in we're in Stewart County, Georgia right now, and it's in Terrell County is where our duck hole is, and it's a natural pond, about 60-acre pond, and it's got some food in there, and some years, we got a bunch of ringnecks on it, and we'll get a bunch of wood ducks, and here and there we've killed some teal, and we heard some quacking ducks today. I mean, it just
mallards.
Yeah, it just depends what's coming through, and we had some geese. We saw some geese today, but it's a good little area, and so this morning we get out there, and nice morning, it's clear, and yesterday morning was real foggy, but so we get out there, and anyways, we had us a little setup, and we wound up getting a couple ringnecks come in and kill us a couple ringnecks, so we didn't get skunked. That's the main thing right there.
I'm the easiest guy you ever hunted with because my only objective is to kill a duck. More ducks is better, but a duck, check. I've killed a duck in Georgia.
Yep.
That's what I told y'all. And, truth of the matter is, it was perfect that we shot a Georgia ringneck instead of a wood duck. Because that's kind of y'all state duck is a ringneck duck. And I was wondering to myself this morning why that is. Because, when you get up there along the Atlantic seaboard, the Carolinas, North Carolina especially, a lot of ringnecks. I think it's really now we shoot a lot of ringnecks in Mississippi too in that deeper water. At our camp, we shoot. I'd call it the willow brake duck would be a ringneck. We shoot a bunch of them at times, but there seem to be predominant here in Georgia. Most people I know are shooting ringneck and wood ducks.
I don't know why, but
I mean your entire spread, Caleb, was ringneck. A few wood ducks. And a spoonzilla.
I had to have a spoonzilla.
But a lot of ringnecks out there. You even had some old Carolite decoys you painted up for ringnecks.
Yeah, painted them up. They were old millards and turned them into a black and white duck.
Was that this morning a pretty typical hunt?
Pretty much was.
Yeah, and when and we've had some times down there, and those ringnecks will pile up, and we'll have 100, 200 ringnecks, and you get 3 or 4 passes with 200 ringnecks. You're working on a limit quick.
Boy,
so
quick.
I mean, it's just catching it right down here. And anyways, though, it's a good little spot. It's a cool spot. It's a fun hunt, and we're glad we got to cross off number 39 for
Number 39. Ringnecks to me are interesting species because technically they're a diver, but they do like, in this part of the world, they do like what I think of as puddle duck habitat.
Mm-hmm.
They like it, willows and buttonbush and trees and swamps and stuff, where you're going to see wood ducks, where you're going to see gadwalls and widgeons when you got them. I mean, they're really adaptable like that. I don't know why. Maybe something to do with their diet. But I do like to shoot ringnecks. It's like if I had to pick a species in North America that I just really like to swing through on and pull the trigger, it's a ringneck because they're fast, they're fun. They'll make a pass over the decoys pretty often. Like 200 ringnecks, we'd had us a shoot this morning. If 200 come sweeping.
Yeah, I tell you, we'll get up in there sometimes. Last year even, and we got 200 ringnecks coming in, sounded like a fighter jet, coming through there, and it's some kind of fun though. I mean, I just assume shoot a ringneck than anything. I mean, I love shooting them. They're fast, fun shooting, and they humble you sometimes though.
We had that one pair break off of that 4-pack come in, and I shot the left, Caleb shot the right. And knocked them both down. But your dog, Junior, went out there and found that one that was still swimming just a little bit briefly. I seen him swim up in that bush, and he come right out with him. But that was his. Tell me about that because that was a significant bird for him.
Oh, that was today. Was Junior's first real duck hunt.
Real duck hunt. What constitutes as a non-real duck hunt?
Well, I mean training.
Okay. Oh, I got you.
HRC test and that kind of thing. Today was the first time he actually went with us hunting. On a real hunt.
Those are you've got 3 Boykins, and Char weighs 50 pounds. She's kind of a small size petite lab, and I was noticing walking back up when we got done picking up decoys, Junior's every bit as big as she is.
He's 50 pounds.
He's a big Boykin.
Yeah, he is.
But I got to look when you had all 3 of them out there, all about that size.
They all are. Yeah.
Is that standard for a Boykin?
No, that's.
I think a Boykin is being almost like a poodle-sized dog, like a lap dog. I mean, those are sizable dogs you got.
30, 40 pounds, for a male Boykin is probably the standard.
How long have you been raising Boykins?
We never raised any, but we got our first Boykin 10 years ago, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Why did you choose a Boykin Spaniel?
They would probably tar and feather me for saying this, but just because of the color.
Okay.
I had chocolate layups forever.
Yeah.
And we lost our last old chocolate layup, and that's what I had forever from birth off, was old chocolate layups. And decided we wanted to try something different, get a spaniel. And I like the Boykins because they're color.
Mm-hmm. But they're very versatile. 'Cause I noticed. I mean that dog, and I've raised Springers for many years. Our family did, and I love a spaniel's personality.
Oh, they just
eager to please. And I know a Boykin has web feet just like a Springer, so they swim and do stuff. But you don't hunt just the few ducks y'all got around here with them birds. You do a lot of upland and everything else.
Do a lot of
woodcock
hunting, quail hunting.
Talk a little bit about that, Caleb.
Oh, the woodcock hunting.
Yeah.
Oh,
y'all bound to have some woodcock.
We do have
here.
one, and you got to have weather for them too. It's got to be cold.
All these migratory birds.
Get them down here. But it's fun. It's a fun hunt. Just find the thickest, nastiest swamp. Just you need to wear hip boots in to wade in. That's where we find them.
And those little Boykins will get in there and flush them.
That's right. That's right.
And do you try to hunt quail with those dogs?
We do. We quail hunt with them too.
Really?
Yeah.
How far do they run little figure eights in front of you? And
yeah, they hunt for the gun. Mm-hmm. Once they learn that they flush a bird out of range, we ain't get the bird, obviously.
Right.
So they learn to stay in close. You keep them in close, and you just follow your dog.
Yeah. Just like you were on that deer yesterday.
That's right. That's right. Just like that.
I mean, they truly are versatile. You're hunting ducks and upland and deer. Mm-hmm. That's pretty good little dog to have.
Good dove dogs.
And the size, I bet they are good. they probably don't get as hot as these labs and stuff get.
Yeah, but they can in September. We keep plenty of ice and water for them in the field, cool them off and all.
You were telling me yesterday evening, y'all got a nice little. This house has got to be 100 years old. Nice little farmhouse out here in Georgia. Probably been around forever. And y'all spend the whole week over here at Christmas. That's a big deal.
Yeah. So me and Heather will usually around this time of year, take some vacation, and we'll come up here, and it's just the kind of stuff we like to do around here. We hang out with family, hunt, duck hunt, deer hunt, have a couple cold beers. It's just kind of stuff we like to do around here. So it's a big week, and Caleb's always hanging around, and my dad will usually come up around this time and with his wife, and so we have a big old time, and you saw last night we have a big old cook-in, and we're all about eating some good food around here. So we cook a bunch of food and have big breakfast, and we just have a big time. It's just a good time of year.
Just goofing off.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's the thing about it is been traveling for months, jumping all around the country, and everybody I shared a blind with have also shared, the duck camp experience, the camp experience. And in Delaware, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, it doesn't matter where you go. It's all about the people and the food and the atmosphere, and maybe there's a fire going in the evenings. There's certainly some beer and brown water going if you're that way, and a lot of stories, a lot of jokes, a lot of carried on. But now, it hit me last night when we sat down at the supper table that I'm finally back home. I'm not even in North Carolina.
Yeah,
I'm home when we ate dinner last night, baked chicken, and Crowder peas, purple hull peas, and I was like macaroni and cheese homemade. I'm like, boy, I'm home.
Yeah, we had a good feast.
I'm finally home.
Last night.
Purple hull peas cooked with smoked pork meat in there. I'm like, yeah, I'm home now.
Yeah,
this is good.
We were sitting in the deer stand, and Ramsey looked at me. We were talking about something. I said, yeah, we're going to do. We're smoking some chicken quarters. And he said, you're shitting me. And I looked at him like he didn't like chicken quarters. He said, I just told my wife the other day, that's exactly what I wanted when I made it back to the house.
I love chicken leg quarters. Now, I'm telling you what, it's like one of my favorite food groups. I eat it 3 or 4 times a week if I can.
Man, and we cooked them on that smoker out there for a couple hours, and they were some kind of tender.
Oh, they
were
good.
Yeah.
It hit home, and I slept. I hadn't had no problem at all falling asleep last night after a couple of brown water drinks and a good chicken meal. Now, here's something interesting I noticed last night, Caleb. Georgia duck hunter. True or false? You are a master coot carver.
I wouldn't say master, but
well, that's the best coot decoy homemade I ever seen. I'm just going to tell you that little gift you gave me last night, and we walked in your shop today, and you had tons of them. What's up with that? That's a compliment, man. I mean, I ain't never met nobody that had a fleet of homemade coot decoys.
We hunting over on the Chattahoochee River a lot, hunting divers over there, and it's eat up with coots, and sometimes you eat a bunch of black decoys.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I wound up getting the idea or saw it done, but crab trap floats.
Yeah.
Just split them half in two. I mean, it was easy to do.
And then you burlap wrapped them.
Mm-hmm.
How long did that take?
Now, I didn't burlap wrap all of them because that would have took too long. That was a pain in the butt. But we did a handful that way.
Yeah.
The rest of them, we just painted them black. But
well, I'm proud as I can be. I can see where those divers a lot of times will get down that submerged aquatic and feed, and it'll float to the top. And I've seen coots come in and do that and feed behind those divers like that. And I can see that association.
Oh, well, you'll have rafts of just thousands and thousands of them over on the river.
And I've said forever, a jet black, flat black decoy.
It's a black decoy.
It's probably all you need to hunt any duck species with.
Maybe with a little flash of white on it.
Yeah, well, just like they were. How many of those coot decoys reckon you got?
I had 120 of them at one time that I had made.
Will Boykins pick them up? Will they fetch coots if you shoot them?
Oh yeah.
Do you shoot them?
I have shot coots.
Okay.
Man, I saw a couple.
No shame.
Yeah.
And coots are not bad to eat.
I read a report one time, and Delta waterfowl of all time, and it was like they quizzed some biologists with Delta waterfowl, and it was like a 2 questions: most underrated wildfowl, most overrated wildfowl, and all of them said a mallard was the most overrated, and nearly all of them said a coot was the most underrated. And that made me think, and I've since eaten coot, and I'm gonna tell you, they ain't bad to eat.
Not bad.
They're not a duck, but I've eaten. I've been, matter of fact, before this morning, The only wing shooting I've really ever done down here in Georgia was clapper rail, down there on the Gulf Coast, and it was a fun hunt, and a surprisingly very good eating bird. And the coot, I think, tastes very similarly. Y'all ever done that?
Clapper rail or
rail hunting?
No, I've never done any rail hunting. Now we got down in Louisiana. Man, there's more coots. You could walk across them down there. And we've a couple of times, especially for a dog down there, you'll be hunting and we won't have any birds or something, and we'll shoot some coots now. I don't mind it one bit.
Well, a lot of those guys down South Louisiana won't shoot the coots during the season because them coots will kind of be around their hole and like free decoys out swimming around and doing stuff. But then on the last day of season, woe be unto them. They're going to shoot their limits and coots. And
right.
I've got a buddy who's telling me one time years ago, his grandmother makes gumbo, but she only make it with coot gizzard.
Really?
And so when she gets to hankering to make a gumbo, she'll call him and he'll go out and shoot her some coots.
Yeah.
Lord, them things got a gizzard.
A big gizzard. I mean, it probably got more gizzard than breast meat.
They do.
A bunch of it. How many more times will y'all try to go out there and hunt that area we hunted this morning? That's probably about a 60-acre beaver pond.
Well, probably hunted a couple times this week, to be honest with you. We were talking about that weather, and so this morning, like I was saying, was clear, and it was, about 39, 40 degrees this morning. So it was good weather, it was fine weather. But this end of this week towards Christmas is supposed to get a hard freeze coming in.
20s.
Yeah, 20s. And so,
that ought to push y'all a few ringnecks down.
And that's what we're thinking. So
maybe even push some of them, a lot of wood ducks we shoot would be blowing in from up north.
That's right.
Do y'all ever shoot any bands down there, any banded wood ducks? Have you ever shot banded wood ducks? Where'd they come from?
Let's see, I've killed 2 over the last 10, 15 years. They both came from Ohio.
Really?
All right.
Isn't that crazy?
I know of 3 other bands that were killed in the county around here, and they all 3 came from Ohio.
Wow.
And this is over a scattering of years.
Wow. That's pretty strong correlation.
I don't know,
Man. Well, I wish I'd shot number 6 today. That'd have been fun.
But I always thought that was neat,
You ever seen or heard of a banded ringneck?
I have not.
Me neither. But I call myself looking at every foot, but I ain't never seen or heard of one.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Chief killed one.
He did. Was it a ringneck or was it a?
No, that was a ringneck.
Yeah.
He shot a banded ringneck.
Banded ringneck.
Shaun did.
Where was it from?
Did we shoot him in Arkansas? I can't remember.
No, he killed it on the duck pond.
You're right about that.
I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna get him mic'd up. He's got to tell the story here a little bit. I'm gonna ask him about
that. Duck came from.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we've killed a banded duck off that pond we hunted this morning. I forgot about that. That's exactly right.
Well, that's good.
Old banded ringneck.
Well, I tell you what, I sure appreciate y'all's hospitality. I mean, I know it's no small feat to produce a duck, let alone duck plural, in the state of Georgia. But y'all did good, and I had a bunch of fun. And the deer was just a huge bonus, man. I'm gonna tell you what, a lot of everybody I know that calls me to go duck hunting, they go duck hunting for vacation, and I kind of like to go do something else to have fun.
Yeah,
I like to shoot something else, and I sure did enjoy that. But I'm gonna get Shaun, Caleb. I'm gonna swap out that mic with Shaun.
Yes.
He got a good story to tell.
Yes, he does.
Thank you for your hospitality. No. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
And both of y'all welcome to come over to Mississippi anytime. And I can't guarantee you no more birds than we saw this morning, but I'd love to have you come over and eat and socialize. And bring some of them coot decoys. We'll try them in Mississippi.
I'll do it.
That's right.
Now, Shaun, I got you on now because you told some good stories. You got a good hospitality. I got to ask you a question though. I mean, you're obviously a big deer manager and stuff like that. What is kind of you told me some stuff about your hunting club yesterday, how it's managed, how you want to manage, what it's for, and I just found that so interesting. Tell me about your place here. Tell me about your hunting camp.
So we got about 1,800, 2,000 acres, and we don't have a whole lot of people hunting it. Basically, family first, and customers and close friends, and we try to do some food, plant some in the spring, and then in the fall we plant a lot, and then we do minerals and whatnot. We got good sized food plots. I think that's a big key. We probably got 25, 26 acres worth of food plots.
It's a lot of good browse. Like I
is.
noticed just from where I could see yesterday was a lot of greenbrier, lot of dewberry, just a lot of browse. I mean, we watched a deer over. I'm not sure what my directions are, but we watched a deer just kind of off to the right of that little blind we was in yesterday, and it never left. It was just browsing on natural stuff right over there. It wasn't even. It wasn't in the food plot. It was just off eating natural stuff. As happy as could be. It was there all afternoon.
It
was
is.
shot.
It is, and it's amazing. You'll see a lot of deer feed off the edge of the food plot.
Oh yeah,
and it is. They're doing
because
browse.
they're edge species.
Yep, and
Yeah.
we do some burning when we can, when we find time. That helps a lot. Get some fresh browse out from under.
Do you ever do any spraying on your property? That I know you spray for a living, but spraying can be good for deer habitat.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
deer and quail and turkeys and.
yeah. Especially mazapir, and then you'll get rid of a lot of your undesirable species, and then it promotes your legumes. Mazapir won't bother your legumes, so that promotes your.
You try to follow that up with a cool season burn?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
does really good. And then you get a massive flush of real good stuff, browse, for not only turkeys and the deer. And
By
even
having
the
a lot
quail.
of deer and a lot of good habitat, really, is Chase and I were talking yesterday. To me, not having too much hunting pressure and everything else, these deer are able to achieve age structure, and to me, that's like the most critical link of good deer.
Yeah.
If a deer is meant to be, it's going to be when he's 4, 5, 6 years old.
It is. I thought we would never, and we've been here a long time, I thought we'd never see a 5.5-year-old deer. But we finally did, and you got to have rules. That's just all there is to it. And
What are your rules?
well, any of the small young tens, 2.5, 3.5, 9 points. I have seen an occasional 8 point, but we let them go, and we try to let them for sure get to 4.5 or 5.5 if we can. And a lot of times we'll see our deer change. And, we're not hunting 150 class deer, but we have killed some 140 class deer, which is
Y'all killed some good deer over
absolutely
here.
sensational for here.
Yeah.
And I think pressure is a big deal. We don't put a lot of pressure on our deer either. So,
They didn't look pressure to me yesterday.
no, and they need some now because we get too many does. So you conquer one thing and you bring on another. So and everybody wants to try to kill a big buck, so they don't want to shoot a Ramsey buck.
Yeah, well that's me, man.
Yeah, and so we'll start trying to fill some doe tags here. And
How
next
productive
couple
are
of
these
weeks.
soils
They're very productive.
for pine trees and stuff?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, they do good, and then especially with some good fertility, they really do good, and that's the key on food plots. You got to keep that pH up above 6, and potash is real important.
Yep. How long have you had this place and been managing it like that? 'Cause you were, I know your kids grew up here.
Yeah, probably 15. I've been hunting here probably 20 years.
Really, boy, I tell you what, there's a lot to be said for that. I've got a place I've been hunting that long, and you just kind of know.
Yeah.
I don't need a headlight. I know just where I'm going. I know just where I want to stand.
Yeah, we do. We always have the same stands every year. It seems to you always see that new buck, and it's amazing how the place stays the same. And we'll get a surprise every now and then, and every now and then, every year it seems like we have cameras and we don't work them. I mean, we only work 4, 5, 6 cameras on the whole place, but we'll always have a buck harvested we've never seen.
Yeah,
And
isn't that crazy?
It is nuts because we're here all the time, and we're keeping an eye on things all the time. And I went 6 years without killing a buck, and I love to go in the afternoons and
But you put
sit.
your kids on them.
Oh,
Your daughters.
absolutely. Yes, have $2, and they love it. And they've probably killed the biggest deer on the place, and they don't mind telling you either.
That reminds me of a story you told me yesterday, Chase. Tell me about the first time you came up here and hunted with Heather.
Yeah, so I was telling you about this. First time I come up here, we were in college, me and Heather were dating, and so we come up here, and I had met Shaun and Amy, and so they knew I was a big duck hunter, which I grew up, in Biloxi, like I was saying. We deer hunted down there, and if we saw a deer, it was something. We wouldn't see deer all year. It was just a different deal down there. So I come up here, and we're sitting over at a food plot we call the 10 acre. So we're sitting there, and me and Heather are sitting there, and she's on the gun. And I'm telling you, if there was one buck, there was 15 bucks running around, and I was coming unglued. And Heather was just looking like it was just another day, and I was having a heart attack. And I said, Heather, I said, are you going to shoot one of these? And she was just said, yeah, no problem. I'm going to shoot one. And I was just freaking out. So we get out there, and she winds up shooting one. Shot a good. You probably remember she shot that big old 7-point. Remember he had that broken off time?
That's right.
So anyways, that was the first deer hunt I ever went on this property. And I said, what is going on over here? And of course it's not like that every single time. But I said, did they let him out of pens when I showed up or something? I didn't know what was going on. So it was something else. But so that's how it kicked off. That's how it kicked off over here.
And you kept on dating her, I'm
thinking. Yeah. Look, I told you this, and this is funny. And when I was growing up, my dad told me two things, and it was a joke, obviously, but, kind of wound up happening. He said, when you get married, you got to marry someone who's sweet, girl. And he said, and her daddy's got to have some hunting land.
Y'all remember that, listeners? Yeah. Dreams do come true.
Yeah.
And Shaun, you were telling me also yesterday, you do manage the harvest. You have friends, you have family, you have clients, and then y'all have like some of these children come in and hunt.
Yeah. So we do a couple of these hunts. Try to every year, and it's for QE4 outdoor, and it's a pretty neat deal. These kids come in and we let them come in for 2 or 3 days and do some hunting, and they've had some hard times.
Yeah. And they get to come out here and have a good time.
Yeah, it's funny how you try to plan it, because if you sit in a stand here, you're going to see 10 to 15, sometimes 25 deer. So I was out of town 2 years ago, and I said, okay, y'all know the routine. They come in on Thursday. You put them in the sorriest stand on the place. Maybe they'll see a deer or two, and Friday, you kind of take them to another place, and then it's all bets on Friday afternoon. Builds up, and then Friday and Saturday, I've got the places already picked out. I've sat there. I know the deer's there. That's when we let them shoot the deer, because you know how kids are. If they come in on Thursday and shoot a deer, it's hard to keep them going till Sunday afternoon. Lo and behold, they come in here, and I said, all right, y'all take them over there. So I called in. I was out of town. Actually, I was out of town on a hunt somewhere, and I called in. He said, boss, I hate to tell you, but the girl killed the buck. I put her in the sorry stand, but I think she's killed the biggest deer on the place. We fell out laughing. It was so funny. And she did. She killed a really nice buck. And she really enjoyed it.
It's a really nice deer, but that's a real sweet note she wrote you on that picture, too.
Yeah.
I know she got there in your trophy room, and that was a real, probably a real big deal, because she had been through some tough times.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's an awesome story. Now, look, what is, change the subject just a little. I know you got other hunters over here, too. What is the nut duster from hell story?
All right. So I got a friend.
Give me the long version.
Do you really want the long version?
Everybody wants to hear. Everybody wants to hear about a man that's the nut duster from hell.
That's right.
So my gosh, I got.
It's gonna take some build up.
Yeah, it's funny. I got a friend, and he's 79 now, and he started hunting with me probably 8 or 9, 10 years ago. And I should have known then, Ramsey, not to let him stay. I invited him over here as a customer, and I put him in a stand. I said, now you sit right here. There is guaranteed 2 knotheads going to walk out in this field. Do not shoot the knotheads. There will be some more bucks. There'll be some more deer here. He's a customer, so we're all hunting, and I was on past him. It was getting late in the evening. I think, he should have seen the deer by now. Bam! He shot. It went a little bit, 30 more minutes. Bam! He shot again. I said, well, good. He got him a couple does. I went over to pick him up. I said, well, did you have any luck? Yeah, I got 2. I said, oh, yeah, where are they? One of them's right over there. He's getting out of the tree, He's kind of slow. I walk over there, and I pick it up with one hand. I said, well, there's my first knothead. He got the first one. Where's the other one? Hey, on the other side of the field. I walk over there and pick it up with one hand, about 30 pounds. There's another knothead. I said, well, you got both of my knotheads? No way. I said, you damn sure did, and you knew they were knotheads. I said, I don't know that I'm going to have you back. Of course, I was picking on him. And so we got to be really good friends, and he hunts with me and everything, and he is getting up in his age, and he's kind of like I was when I was 12, 14. He is mad at these deer.
Mm-hmm.
He don't care if it's a knothead or a 12-point. They're all relevant to him. It's a number. It's a deer. He's got to kill a deer. Mm-hmm. He's got to kill a deer. And people come over and get aggravated because he don't care. You got to give it to him. He's 79 years old. He don't care if it's pouring down rain. No, yeah. I got to get a deer. I got to get a deer. So we started this little in the wall in here. We're not completely through with it. A wall of shame.
Well, it's all dedicated to him.
Yeah, he's owning the wall.
Cause what made me notice it is you got the biggest barnwood plaque I think I've ever seen, and the smallest little knothead horns hanging dead center. That really makes them look small on that big old plaque. That's what caught my attention. I said, that's a mighty big plaque for such a small set of horns. They might be 3/4 of an inch long.
Yeah. So he, he's going to kill a knothead every year. And I said, it's just ridiculous. But you got to understand, he's getting up his age. He can't see real well. And, and his sight is really getting worse. So I let off of him a little bit because it's hard to see the knotheads. But there again, you got to understand, he don't care. So we said, we're going to start this wall of shame, and we're going to finish it up. And he wins every year, and I'm going to go back and put the little metal plaque on it, probably for the last 7 years. And and last week he killed a knothead, and he blamed me because y'all didn't come get me at 9:30. You left me to 10:30, and I shot the deer a little after 10. And if y'all had come got me on time, I'd never shot that deer. And he just gives me up and down. But, one of us tries to sit with him now.
You might
just
need to
regulate
him and give him like just one bullet. Try that.
We did that. we did that this season a little earlier, and a matter of fact, he was sitting right over in a little rascal where you were, and a boy that works with me sits with him. He said, "Okay, how many bullets?" He gives him one bullet. He said, "What do you do?" He said, "You got one bullet. You start with it." So they're sitting there, and we knew it was a deer. It was a deer over there. It had one spike on one side and 3 on the other. And I said, "Take Eddie over there and let him shoot him. He's coming out every day." So they go over there, and he shoots at him, and he misses him. And then the deer walks about 10 or 15 yards. He shoots again. He takes off running. They don't get a deer, and I thought, what the heck? But that's the way he is. He might miss, or he may kill one 200 yards. You don't know. He can be 0 for 4 or 1 for 1. Sometimes he's you just never know with him. But if he's, and so after the first shot, he said, "All right, give me another bullet." He said, "All right, I'm going to give you one more bullet." So he gave him the bullet, and he's trying to load his gun. And I think he said, "Well, that's why I didn't hit him the second time. We had this big transition going up there, and I'm having to put another bullet in my gun." So the deer walks off, and I sit there a lot in the afternoon. It's pretty close to town, and after work, I can go slide in there right before the feeder goes off, and I sit up there, and I can talk on the phone. It's basically looks like Little Rascal's Playhouse. And I look up there, and I see a buzzard light on top of my feeder. And I said, he's done hit this deer. And I said, and I start texting. I said, "Hey, there's a buzzard on top," and you know, it's hunters, and you know how we do. I said, "There's a buzzard on top of the feeder. I see buzzards everywhere." There were no more buzzards. I said, "Y'all done shot a deer over here, and you didn't go find him." And I said, "I'm mad as hell." And I said, "What are y'all doing?" No, we did not. And of course, Mr. Eddie, he comes on in the text. He said, "I told him to go look closer. I knew I hit that deer." He's all in now. And I said, "Well, I think you might have hit him." And then we're just sitting there texting. And then the boy that sits with him comes on. He said, "No, I saw it. The first shot, you missed it because he didn't even run. And the second shot, you shot right under his belly in the damn dirt. Sandblasted his nut." I thought I'd fall out. And I said, hold on. I see a deer coming. Out. "Oh, it's that buck. You didn't hit him, Eddie." "What is it?" "He's got something on." "Oh, my gosh, y'all. He's got a jock strap on and a cup." "But he is coming back to the feeder, Eddie." y'all a bunch of SOBs, and boy, he lit into me, but we had the best time doing that. So we got to thinking about it. And the other day I told another guy that worked for me, I said, I really, really wish we could come up with a way to get a picture of him and put a coonskin cap on him. And lo and behold, one of my employees sent it. And he basically took Daniel Boone off, put my guy's head on there, and he called him Eddie Boone, Nut Duster from Hell.
Nut Duster from Hell.
Oh, so I had to add a little to the bottom Outdoor Life magazine Man of the Year.
Yeah.
And what was funny, he saw it the first time. He said, "Oh, y'all go to hell." And he looked at the picture. He said, "Man, I look pretty good in that picture." He's about 150 pounds lighter. He said, "Send me a copy of that picture. Let me keep that." So he's got a new name, and we got an addition to the wall, and he's a really good guy. So we have a lot of fun here.
He could probably put that on a dating app and get all kinds of phone
Yeah.
calls.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to post that one with the podcast so everybody can see the old Nut Duster from Hell.
That could be his handle on that dating app, be Nut Duster.
Oh yeah. And when he hears about this, he'll just squall, but he's good. He's good at heart, and that's what matters.
Shaun, this is a real special place y'all got here, and I really, really, truly appreciate y'all's hospitality. It's been, I've only been here 24 hours, but it has been like coming home. I might give I don't shoot knothead, but I might give Eddie a run for his money if I come back.
I want you to come back.
I'll bring plenty of bullets.
Yeah.
Hey, that'd be great. You come back, and we'll see if we can get the old Nut Duster over here too, and we'll have big time. We'll shoot some does and some, as he calls them, they're all cull bucks.
Yeah. If they hold still long enough for him to get the crosshairs over.
I promise you. Yeah, I guarantee you. We have a big time.
Folks, thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for y'all's hospitality again. But thank y'all for listening to this episode of Duck Season Somewhere from the state of Georgia. You know what? They might not be in the prime flyaway, but they sure know how to run a hunting camp and how to roll out the red carpet for folks. See y'all next time.